Hi and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I am Lexi and I am a homeschool mom of 6 and I blog at lexandeclectic.com where I share secrets to authentic homeschooling. I share about our schedules and the curriculum that we use and just stories of our homeschool. We have a lot of chaos, as you can imagine. So that's a little bit about me. And today I'm going to be talking about back to homeschool traditions. So here it is the middle of summer and we are starting to think about going back to school. In my state and in my area, the schools start really early. And we kind of start around the same time because we like to take off time in winter for snow days so my kids can play outside. We like to have more time for the holidays, for when family comes to visit. And so we usually go ahead and start in early August, kind of when the back to school excitement picks up. And it's a good starting point, and we only do about half days in the beginning. But it's still good to get started and then have some extra time throughout the year to take off when we need breaks. But one thing that I have always done for the past several years is have several traditions for our back to school time. So I was going to share a few of those with you to help inspire you as you think about going back to school yourself. So the first thing that we do is we usually create our homeschool uniform. And in the past, what we've done is we've bought some white t-shirts or tank tops and we tie-dyed them. So the kids helped us put rubber bands on them in different patterns. And then we had a party in the backyard where we tie-dyed the shirts together. And then those shirts were things that they wore during the school day if they wanted to, or we often wore them if we went to a museum or a zoo or a park. If we had any kind of field trip, it really helped me be able to spot my kids. If there was ever a crowd, I could always pick out which kids were mine because they were wearing these crazy bright tie-dye shirts that we had made. So my kids have loved making different shirts throughout the years and having those. So that's been a fun tradition. We also do a back to school shopping trip. So we don't need as many supplies maybe as a school might. We have a lot of things that we've been able to save over the years, but I always need more pencils and some notebooks and binders and folders and a few things like that. So I make a list and I divide the list up by child for what each child will need, and then I take them with me on a shopping trip. And it's kind of a little individual date with each child, and I let them pick out which color pencils they want. They can choose their crayons or their colored pencils or their pens and folders. So I let them choose a few new supplies for each school year, and they really appreciate being able to have some supplies that are their very own and be the ones to pick those out. So that's kind of a fun little shopping date that we take before we start our school year. Another thing that I always do is we always buy PJs because I know a lot of homeschoolers might get dressed for their school day, but we usually don't. My kids usually don't get dressed until after lunch. Unless, if we're not going anywhere, sometimes they don't get dressed at all, especially in the winter, and that's fine. At our house, we enjoy being able to homeschool in our comfy PJs and in our fuzzy socks and our robes, especially when it's cold. So every summer, I buy my kids some new PJs, and I surprise them with the different fun designs, and they get them the night before we're going to start school, so they can open those, and they're just a little fun present for them. We call them their homeschool uniforms, and they put those on before they go to sleep so that they're wearing them for their first day of school. And another thing that I do, I always print off their grade level. So I find little posters online, fun little free printables that say the different grade levels, and I take pictures of my kids holding up the signs for their new grade level and the new school year. And we've done that every year, and it's really fun to go back and look through all the photos and see how they've changed over the years. And I'll tell you a little secret about those photos. I never take them the morning of the very first day. I started doing that the first couple years, and every time the pictures were a complete disaster. So I started taking them either the day before or the night before. I would have my kids go ahead and take a shower, open up their new PJs, put them on, And then we would all go outside to the front porch with my husband there to help me, and we would take all the pictures. And I found that I would actually get some good quality pictures, and we would not have as much crying and whining and arguing because my husband was there to help me, and it was just less stressful to do it the night or the day before rather than trying to step outside the morning of our first day and try to organize everyone and get photos. So if you're planning to take back to school photos, I recommend that you cheat just a little bit and take them a day or two in advance when you're not feeling quite as stressed and quite as hectic. And you might actually get some pictures that are worth keeping. Another thing that we do is we have a S'mores Night. So the night before, when they've put on their new PJs, we've done their photos, we come back inside and we make s'mores. And we sit around and we talk about our new year. I talk about kind of our goals and our plans for the year, some of our expectations, and we reminisce on our summer. We talk about the fun places that we've gone, the things that we've done, and we also kind of plan out some of our field trip ideas for the school year. We talk about museums we would like to visit or parks that we want to go to now that school is back in session and the parks are a lot less crowded. So that's a little secret. Don't go to parks in the summer. They are so crowded with all of the daycares and the summer camps. Definitely wait until school is back in session and then hit up your favorite park. So we try to sit around and plan out some of our adventures for the school year. And then the other fun thing that we do is we get up and we have a special breakfast on our very first day. I actually let my kids eat chocolate cake for breakfast. And I know that seems crazy, but it kind of started a few years ago and it's become a fun tradition. Our first day is usually pretty crazy as we're trying to get back into the routine and trying to work on our new schedule. So it's not usually very productive anyway. So we always make chocolate cake and we have that for breakfast for our first day. And that's been a tradition that my kids really look forward to because no other time during the year do I let them eat chocolate cake for breakfast. So those are our fun back to school traditions, and hopefully that gives you some fun ideas and inspiration as you plan your new school year and some new things that you might want to consider trying.